Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well, staying safe. We've got one day to get ready for Texas Tech tomorrow. Obviously, a team that beat us up in Lubbock, so we'll hopefully have a good practice today and come back and play well tomorrow. We obviously didn't play very well Wednesday night. Second half, after digging ourselves a hole the first half, fought back and got it manageable at halftime. But again, Oklahoma State I think is really good, and they're physical, they're tough, they're aggressive, and so we'll watch a little film today and get on the court and see if we can't fix some of our ills.
Dennis, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I know after the game you were pretty you were frustrated with the lack of fight, the softness, etc. What do you have? Because your practices are already tenacious. What do you have in your bag of tricks to instill even more fight, instill even more toughness, and can you even do that a day before a game?
Well, only way I know to do it is to to do it the way I know has worked in the past. And you don't change, you don't give in, you keep instilling a competitive spirit in them. I'll be competitive in practice. My staff will be competitive. And so, I think that's who we are. And that's really the only way I know to be. I think, again, it's our saying, it's not what we do, but how we do it. That separates us from the rest of the country. So, again, it's to an extent, it's really not our kids' fault. We've got a very young, inexperienced team. 3 of our 4 off the bench are freshmen. And so our depth is an issue. And so it's just the way it is right now. So, we'll keep coaching and teaching and demanding, and we'll show them on film. The film doesn't lie, Dennis. And when they watch film, they can see exactly what we're talking about. And, going into Tech, and we had so many good looks at Tech, and we couldn't throw it in the ocean if we were standing on the beach at high tide. We really struggled. I think we were 2 for 11, 3 for 13, 6 for 16, at the 2-3-5. And so at the 4-5-2. And so we got a bunch of really good looks. Like Audrey had a bunch of good looks and went 3 for 13. So, we'll keep trying to execute and put them in a position to win and be successful.
Thank you.
Danny, go ahead.
Vic, you talked about this a little bit on Wednesday night, but with them having a day off yesterday and you only having 1 day of practice, what are the challenges with only having that 1 day turnaround and trying to get ready for a bounce back game?
Yeah, Danny, it's a big challenge. We got so many things to fix and not enough time in the day to do it. So, we'll keep working and we'll go to work on some of our glaring issues and see if we can get some of that addressed and fixed. It's unfortunately, Danny, it's not a 1 day deal, as you know. This is a big process. It's a big overhaul process, and again, really, when you step back and look at it, it's I'm really proud of where we are right now. I'm disappointed in how we've played at times, but it's really 5 months and trying to get them to do something completely different than they've ever done, and that's a challenge. So we'll keep working with them. They're great kids. I love them to death, and we just gotta keep instilling in them a desire to compete and again understand that everybody's coming for you. Doesn't make it right. I mean, we really haven't done anything to deserve that, but it's just the way it is. It's the way it is. We've got Texas on our chest.
And since you mentioned the shooting issues in Lubbock, is there a sense that you feel that game got away from you guys, and that a couple made shots and things would have been different a couple weeks ago?
No question. I think you make a couple shots, you get a couple stops, it's a completely different game. But we cut it to 3 late 2 or 3 times. I just finished rewatching it, and we couldn't get a critical stop. I'll give you an example, Danny. We gave up 7 points on we overplayed something, took ourselves out of the play, and then they made a 3 and 2 twos. And so that's a glaring example, of just some little things. We had so many. Excuse me, this fell off. There we go. We missed so many bunnies, little short ones that we didn't get done. We had 2 fouls with 1 second on the shot clock. Just, these are all things that young teams, I guess, do. and so you start adding that up. When you cut it to 3, you might have had the lead by then, but we take ourselves out. We have two fouls as the shot clock expires to put them on the free throw line for 4 more points. So, I look at the film and see some of the things that we did really well, and we got to go execute and finish.
Go ahead.
Vic, I gotta imagine it's a good deal of courage for one of your players to get up there and call her teammates out like Joanne did. When was the last time in your years of coaching that you had a player do something like that? And what does that say about the leadership coming from Joanne?
Well, it certainly is needed. And again, I think you hear it from coaches, but then when one of your colleagues or friends says it, I think you have to pay attention to that. It warrants your attention. And again, this isn't unusual. I've had teams, in the past, players in the past that have, called out their team, their team, not teammates, but it's a team. We're a family. And when you have a family issue, the family needs to address it. And so I'm proud that Joe stepped up in that moment and did that. Again, I give her a lot of credit. She's she's somebody that does work extremely hard, and good night. I mean, she's a engineering major. She's got like a 4.0 or 3.7 or 8 GPA. I mean, she's really she knows what it is to grind, and so she's out there shooting right now, I think. And so, I think every coach will tell you they probably have that in a season like this, and it's again, I think it commands your attention as a teammate, as a family member. When you have a family member bring something up, I don't think there was any accusation to it. It was just, hey, this is who we are. I'm part of the family. I think she would say, I'm part of the family. I have to tell you, though, during that ball game, Joe was really emphatic about, hey, this is a dogfight. Come on, let's fight. And she didn't have many in the pack to help her fight. And so I know her feeling. I felt the same way. I'm telling them the same thing in timeouts. Hey, we need to stop here. Score, stop. We're right back in it. Hey, we're not going to win unless we can get some stops. We're not going to outscore them down, whatever we were. So,
Andrea, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned your bench with your 3 freshmen and Lauren Ebo. I'm curious with Lauren, you talk about your team needing to be physical and fight and aggressive. How do you get her more involved and more minutes on the floor, or has that just been a matchup thing?
Well, she played 30 minutes against Oklahoma State, Andrea, and that means Charlie played 30 minutes at the 4. And we have problems defensively when we have that type of matchup, and we certainly will have an issue against Tech because they're going to have small lineup most of the night. And so, you know, we're probably not as solid defensively because that's, you know, it's just new to both of them as well as, you know, the rest of our team. It's not just reserved for one position, but it's a different kind of defense and different kind of guarding. And so we, you know, it's just, I think more difficult. Again, we got beat 68-51. I mean, you're not going to win any games scoring 51 points. Again, we put in some stuff, some special look stuff, and we got exactly what I knew we'd get. I mean, first play of the game, we get a layup off a pistol screen. I told them we were going to get it. We got it, and we miss it. I mean, you know, when you're on the road, your room for error is just really, really small. And, you know, we ran some 0-0 stuff, got some lobs, can't make a layup down there, can't finish. So, I mean, it's just a matter of us executing and kids finishing. And you know, we'll continue to try to teach and coach and put them in a position to be successful. But, you know, that big lineup, we got away with the other night. We didn't get in any foul trouble, which is good because, you know, that's our two bigs. If one of them were to get in foul trouble, we immediately have to go small. And I've never been a small coach. I've never liked playing the small lineup. Used to fight tooth and nail with Coach back in the day about it. I just, you know, I had 6'1", 6'2", 4 players at Mississippi State, and that's what I'm, you know, we're wanting to be is that long, athletic, you know, dynamic 4-player that can stretch it and shoot it, that can go off the bounce, that can post up, but also that can defend out there. And so we'll get there. And again, I think, you know, Charlie possesses a lot of those, a lot of the ability. She's just never done it before. And so we continue to work with her and teach her because I think that's in her future. And so, you know, it's where we're at.
And just as a follow-up, after the game, you mentioned that you needed to get more ball pressure, that, you know, either the players were not getting it done or they were stubborn about it. Could you just talk about ball pressure and the importance of that within the scheme of your defensive philosophy?
Well, you know, Andrea, we continue to be a dysfunctional defensive unit. And what I mean by that is we'll have 3 people playing really hard and we have the same 1 or 2 people that just, they refuse to deny. You know, you can't play defense the way we want to play unless all 5 are selling out, in denial, 1 pass away, in help, 2 passes away, not allowing dribble penetration middle, you know, things like that. And it's just it continues to be an issue for us. Again, we just haven't been able to teach that habit to everyone. But it's real frustrating, you know, for me as a coach when we have the same issues with some of our, you know, some of the same folks night in and night out. We can't get up and take away 1 pass away and deny. You know, we defended their post player the other night, right, 1 time, and caused a turnover, and so, you know, that's, again, that's just 1 instance for a post. We did a great job, which is what we worked on denying wing entry passes Wednesday night. That wasn't an issue for us. Wing entry passes were not an issue Wednesday night, but we had other problems with guards and dribble penetration. I mean, we couldn't keep the ball in front of us. You know, we let penetration to the middle, and so these continue to be issues for us. And again, nothing unusual. Again, it's just part of where we are right now in the process of our program and developing our program. And again, really, really difficult to do in such a short period of time. So we'll keep working with them and instilling in them the importance of 5 people being connected and doing their job. You know, we talk about it all the time. We've got to do our job. And you know what? My job is to get them to do it. So I've got to coach better and teach better.
Back over to Danny for the last one.
Kind of going off that, I'm a little curious. Part of the problem, just kind of the depth you guys have this year, and the fact that if someone's not doing their job, it's not like you guys have, 3 or 4 options on the bench you can throw in there to try to get a spark. Is that part of the issue this year?
I think you hit it on the head, Danny. It's our depth is a real issue for a number of different, scenarios. And so until we can recruit a little bit and get this new group in here and provide some much needed depth at every position, this is who we are. And that's what I said the other night. It doesn't mean we won't continue to try to get them to change and to do it the way we want to do it. But it is a challenge. I'm going to have to play my bench more, whether I want to or not. I just have to. And that's all of them, all 4 of them. And we're going to have to, I'm going to have to try to spell, some of these kids a little bit here and there. Maybe it's 30 seconds before an end of a quarter, something like that. But, I think if I walk out there today and ask them, hey, how do you want to guard Tech? They're going to say, hey, we're going to press them, coach. I mean, that's just who we are. And I think they have confidence in that. We had some success pressing them in Lubbock. We did a pretty good job in the press. So they attacked us Wednesday night in a different way. And we didn't, we just couldn't handle 21 in transition. She's really good. And that freshman is really, really special. And so we'll have to really do a good job in handling Tech and their press attack. And we'll work on it today. But I know our kids I know what their mindset will be, and they're gonna want to go get them. And that's the way we need to play, really, to be quite honest. They got Sunday off, Danny.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Praise the Lord and Longhorns.